Brooklyn and people.
Hello dolls, and welcome back to another video. You might already realize that something is different, but ever since we moved in here 2 years ago, I have been speaking about wanting to make this wall a statement wall. Something a little more fun, because this is the wall. You come in over there, you look at this wall, it goes all the way up. It's kind of like the centerpiece, the piece that unites our entire apartment. And so I really wanted to make something special. However, it took me such a long time to figure out what I want to do, and then the logistics behind that were quite the journey. So today, welcome to this wall makeover, where I'm sharing how I turned this blank white wall into an accent wall for our dreamy late 1960s apartment. I would like to thank Wallism right off the bat. They are the ones who supplied me with all this incredible wallpaper. I love it. It's the most beautiful wallpaper, and honestly, this couldn't have turned out any better, so thank you so much. But let me take you back to the beginning, when this was still a white wall. So here's a look back at what this room used to look like. I already knew I wanted to do something with that wall, but I never really did, because I always assumed it would be super difficult to do so. So we ended up just putting up this light, but I always felt like this wall would be the perfect statement wall. Okay, so I have a couple ones that I really like. I like this one. It's called 70s Fun Flower Bright. And it does look fun, and it does look bright. My only issue with this is that I don't think the colorway will be the best for what I'm trying to do. Then I have 70s Ornament, which I think is really fun. I'm just wondering whether this is almost too simple. And I think I'm leaning a little more towards the 60s in general, with my style and everything. Then here's this fun one. This one is called Harvest Paisley, and there are so many different color options. However, I do feel like this is more of like a modern bohemian twist. I don't know, I just don't think this is perfect for our home. Then there's Homely Geometry Orange. I really like this one. I think it could be fun. It has this kind of like structure. I feel like this is a close contender. I quite like it, actually. I'm wondering whether the pattern might be a little too small. Then there is this one, Fluid Flowers. Does have different colors. I like the blue, but I'm wondering whether that'll crash with the wallpaper that I already have downstairs. But generally, I like this. It's just a little more modern than what I usually go for. Then there's this one, and I feel like this one might be the strongest contender right now. This one's called Retro Bold Blooms Autumn. I also really like the one that's just called Retro Bold Blooms. However, I feel like the autumn colorway might work best for our home. At least that's what I'm hoping. Oh, and then there's this one. This is the other one that I fell in love with immediately. Green Clover Geometry. My only concern with this one is that green isn't really a color. I adore green. Green is perfect for 60s and 70s interior design. However, it's not really a color that is featured a lot in my apartment anywhere else. So I'm wondering, I could just use this as like a statement wall, but does this clash with the wallpaper that I have downstairs, and also the fact that I have a red kitchen? And then I have this one, which I like, but I don't like as much as the other ones, but this one's called Groovy Mushrooms. And it looks really funky, kind of like psychedelic, like a lava lamp. But I think it is between Retro Bold Blossoms Autumn and Green Clover Geometry. So let me take that downstairs to my husband, and we'll see what he thinks. When I initially spoke to this about my husband, we knew we needed something to bridge on top of our railing to kind of like get the height that you need to wallpaper the entire wall. And so my father-in-law brought over a bunch of wood and turned it into this little bridge thing, which might not look the most stable, but I can report we were fine. Good morning, dolls. Today is the day. The wallpaper has arrived, and we're finally gonna get it on this wall. I think I said it before, but I always assumed that we couldn't wallpaper this wall because of how tall it is. It is over 5 meters tall, but my father-in-law came up with something for us. He came over this morning to install this, which is 2 heavy pieces of wood and then one across, which hopefully is sturdy enough to hold my husband, because I am very pregnant and I am not gonna get up there. And I think even if I was standing here, I'm not tall enough to reach all the way up there. So this is what we're working with. We're putting all of our hopes in here just to kind of like show you the wall once again. This is it. It's incredibly tall and it goes down all the way, and it'll be the most prettiest thing once it is all wallpapered. I think we're gonna start in this corner. We need to unmount these. This is where the guitars used to hang, because we want to kind of like revamp this entire part of here because we don't really use it. So we thought Teddy could have his little pretend play shop up here. And then we're gonna go over and make our way all the way back there. The wallpaper has arrived. I'm working with Wallism. I have everything linked down below. And they gifted me with the most beautiful wallpaper. So let's open this up. They have so many beautiful patterns, and we went with this one, which I think is very hard to kind of like see what the pattern is, but it's gonna be these huge flowers, because I was thinking I wanted something kind of close to this wall color-wise so that it's not too crazy, but in a different size print so that it is still something different. And when you order there, they want you to upload the measurements of your wall, and then they're numbering the pieces. So this is roll 1 of 3. You got 3 rolls, and so they kind of like measured it out because this is, as said, a really, really big print, and it is kind of hard, I think, to get it to work out. So we'll see how we will do. We're just gonna start in that little corner and then work our way over. But honestly, the quality is insane. This is very thick, very heavy, nice wallpaper. And I'm just so truly excited, honestly. Cannot wait to make this happen. The day has finally come. And then it was finally time to prepare. We started by unscrewing basically everything that was still up here. We had some guitar holders on the wall that needed to go, and just started prepping the wall. So it's always best to remove the wallpaper that is underneath. However, because we are renting, we're not allowed to do that. We can wallpaper over it, but we cannot take down the original wallpaper. So it was a little hard because this was structured wallpaper. However, we were fine. I think we found a way to work around it. Then we started to carry all of the things away, just make a lot of room, because we knew we needed the entire hallway to be able to lay down the wallpaper because of the insane height of these walls. Then we started by cutting the wallpaper. Now the wallpaper comes with numbers, so it's numbered after rolls and after pieces, and it just makes it really, really easy. We mixed the glue and then we were good to go. We just started by rolling out, measuring, cutting, and putting up the first pieces.
I can see you there from a mile away, looking down upon all the flowers today blending in. You are a flower girl. I can't tell apart, but I'd pick you either way.
I feel like if you have a straight rectangular wall, this is a lot easier. We, because of the roof and everything, definitely took a little more time to just make sure that the wallpaper is perfect. So we ended up needing to do a lot more cutting and everything, but it all worked out for the best.
Flower girl, sprouting today.
I have to say, there's something almost therapeutic about putting up wallpaper. We really liked it. We put on some audiobooks, some music, and just went about it. And it definitely took some time. Like, all in all, this definitely took several hours, but it was worth it, and it was a fun thing to do together. Initially, I wanted to take off the railing because I was hoping that we could move it a tiny bit away from the wall so that we would be able to slide the wallpaper behind it. However, this did not work. I think at one point this might have been an option, but it was just so glued together by coats and coats of paint that there was no way for us to get this thing moved. And so we ended up making a cut and kind of like patching the wallpaper around, and it did end up working. So this was the bridge in action. You can see my husband up there. It did work. It was a little scary at first, but all in all, it ended up working fine. The longest piece of wallpaper that we put up was over 5 meters, I believe. So definitely a little bit of a hassle to put up, but if you have some time and you're 2 people, then I would say it's definitely doable. Alright dolls, it's a couple days later and I feel like it is time for a much needed update. First of all, do you see this? We're getting somewhere. I quickly want to say, if you have a wall that is more rectangular than ours, and it's also not 40 degrees and you're doing this right underneath the room with no AC, I'm sure you can do this much faster. It is so greatly made because, let me show you this on a roll. Hold up. Okay, so do you see these like little parts? It shows you where to cut and it is numbered. So this is the access, because we have a lot of access, because in order to get the full picture we needed to get wallpaper as if this wall was rectangular, which it isn't, but we have a lot of access now, which is great in case we ever want to do like a smaller wall or something. But what is so great about the wallpaper, this is a scrap that we use. See, we cut off like the top part because obviously it needed to fit that kind of like slated roof that we obviously have in the back, but each piece of wallpaper on each roll comes numbered. So it does have the job, has the order number, and then what is really important is this bit up here. So it says roll 1 of 3, length 3 of 11. So it makes it so easy to find all the pieces that you need. And as said, if you're working with a more rectangular wall, this is a lot easier, but look at it. And we even have one going all the way down already. Also, please don't do what we are doing because I feel like this might not be the most stable bit. It's even screwed in place. Like my father-in-law screwed it here, but for some reason it's moving significantly over here. When my husband steps on this, it also makes a wild sound that I don't think anyone else should try this. Ignore the wood, but we did have a little bit of an issue with this hand railing. I tried to screw it off. It didn't quite work, and so now it looks a little weird because we needed to cut around it, but I can patch this later and then obviously screw it back in place, because even though we could unscrew it, it is just so stuck on there with all the paint. We had no chance of removing this. But look at the quality of this wallpaper. It's so cool. I love it. We're gonna keep on working on this tomorrow. It's perfect. I just wanted to show it to you from down here as well. First of all, it's perfect. I love how it is looking. Obviously, we need to do the rest, but like so far, we're doing really well. And then also, I said I was a little scared that it might clash with this wallpaper. However, I think because this one is significantly smaller, and then this one also has the blue and the white to kind of balance it out, it's perfect. I'm so excited. This honestly is my dream wall project coming together. And I cannot wait to have this finished and show you the full result. The dishwasher is going, so it's a little loud, but we're working on the wall and we're planning on mostly finishing it. Let's see how far we get, but I have really high hopes because I feel like these ones will be quite fast because they're the only somewhat rectangular bits of the wall. So we'll see. So a couple days later, we were back with wallpapering, and at this point, we really had the hang of it. We started to use a lot more of the glue, which definitely did make it easier. So my biggest tip would be to just apply a lot of the glue and then put it on the wall, and you can kind of like move it a little on the wall and just get it to really stick, really work. We have this wonderful brush that worked really well in like laying it flat against the wall, but you can always remove it a little bit and just move it over so that you can make sure that the pattern lines up perfectly. Please ignore the little bit of chaos. Do you see this? We're done! It looks like a white blotch back there, but that is our radiator that we cannot take off. Oh my god, it's so pretty. It's so perfect. I'm so excited. Wow. Also, I said it before and I will say it again. If your wall is rectangular, this is easier because it just took us a bajillion things to like fully patch this up there, because we started over there and then it didn't line up there, but that was not the company's fault. This was our fault. But you can see like some tiny little lines here and there, but my husband did like a patchwork job there and it turned out so well. I'm so excited. Oh, he did such a good job. I'm so thankful right now. It's perfect. And then it was time to decorate the corner again. I put the lamp back there. We picked this up several months ago at a thrift store and I love it. Put the carpet and the radio back in. I absolutely adore this radio. We got it on Facebook Marketplace and the guy who sold it was so sweet. Put some plants on top of it, my Layla record that Miss Layla herself, Abby, gave me, and some more decor. And that is it. Here is our finished accent wall.
As long as it takes to make it through the storm, but I will wait, forever wait. I'll wait as long as you would like. I'll stay with you all through the night. You show me wrong and show me right as rain. I will wait, forever wait with you. Through the winter, hanging on, we can weather through the storm.
I have to say, overall, this process has taught me a lot. First of all, Wallism is fantastic. It is great because you can just upload the dimensions and they will figure everything else for you out. It is so easy to apply. I have never worked with wallpaper that was as easy to apply as this one was with the numbers and everything. It's perfect. But I also learned that if you have a square or rectangular wall, let's say, this probably only takes you half the amount of time that this took us. Now, I haven't fully decided on what I want to do over here. Part of me wants to maybe put some sort of shelving up here so that I have another layer, Part of me wants to keep it like that. I feel like I need to keep it like this for a couple of days and then just try to figure out what I actually want to do. But if you want to see an updated home tour, because a lot has changed in our home in general, let me know and I can film that for you sometime in the future. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I would once again love to thank Wallism for sponsoring me with the most incredible wallpaper. I'm gonna have their shop linked down below. As you saw early on in this video, they have so many amazing wallpaper options, so if you're looking for something specific, I can highly encourage you to just go over there and check it out. As said, I think they had 10 or 12 pieces of wallpaper that I would have absolutely loved. So many different designs. I decided to go with this one and I love it. It's perfect. It really truly is. Choosing wallpaper definitely wasn't the easiest decision because this is such an open space. It spans over 2 stories and there's just so much to take into account. However, what I knew from the very beginning was that 1, I wanted to stay in the red and yellow color family because this wall already had wallpaper. The kitchen over there is already red and upstairs the carpet is also red. I also knew that I wanted a pattern that was significantly larger than this one so that it wouldn't clash, and just something that felt a little different while still being close enough to not clash with this wallpaper. And I absolutely love this pick. It's perfect. It looks amazing. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love you to give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it with a friend. It supports me, it supports the channel, and it would truly mean the world. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine, take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, dolls!